Alright guys, I wanted to do a quick video on some of the tips and tricks that I'm learning with the new View software and trying to map my bag, and I thought I would share some of that stuff as I go through it. One thing to note, um, you in using third-party software like E6 or Creative 3D, um, I think the proper procedure or what works for me is, load the third-party software up and then go and open up View. Now, when you go and you open up View, of course you'll have to choose your golf player, and then you'll come to this session screen. One of the things I learned kind of the hard way is that if you do not have a session opened for E6 or whatever you're playing, the software will pick a session that is there and use it, which will may screw up any data that you've got in that session already. So one of the things that's real important is, as you can see, I'm starting to I'm gonna let me delete this. I've got these two sessions hidden, and I'm gonna show them real quick. Now, if we go to this is my pitching wedge and my 9-iron, and my plans are to go through the whole bag. A couple of points. Number one, and if you're OCD like I am, you need to do them in the order that you want to see them, because I cannot figure out a way to resort or reorder these sessions. It's pretty much in however you create them, that's where they're at. So that may be a enhancement that I'll ask for down the road. But so number one, give it a little thought to how you want your bag ordered, or sessions ordered. The best way I've found to do this is to create a session for each club, because once you have a session, you cannot have differing clubs in that session. At least, you can use different clubs, but they're all going to be treated as the same club. So, that being said, now once but you get what you want. Like right now I have two sessions, so if I've got them unhidden, and if I come over to my group setting, you can see, the white is my pitch and wedge, the red is my 9-iron. If I hid one of those, it would disappear. If you just wanted to see one, so hiding and unhiding has a great functionality in manipulating your data. So again, I'll come back and show it in there. So my plan is, hopefully to have all of my clubs bagged, and I'll be able to see my group spread. And we'll go through the day. I'm going to do an 8-iron with you guys just to show you the process, and then we'll come back and do a little housekeeping and some of the things I've learned about how to manage these sessions. So for right now, I'm going to hide them. And I would suggest you always keep them hidden, unless you are actually using them, because it's very easy to leave one open and start getting some shot data thrown into it. So we're going to create a session, and for my 8-iron, I'm going to choose a green color, and I'm going to call it a 8, and I am using Pro V1s on all this testing, so I'm marking that, so in case later I want to come back with a different ball. Choose your iron, premium ball, and this is going to be an 8-iron. This information shows up, as you can see, it shows up in the bottom underneath the name of your session. So let's add that, and then we're good to go. I'm trying just to get 4 good shots, and let me find my 8-iron. I think some guys may say you need to use 10 shots and, throw out the top and bottom ones. So that's up to you. Um, I'm fairly consistent, so I think 4 or 5 shots, if I hit them decently, will give me the data I need. So give me let me. Now, another thing, let me tell you this real quick. What I've discovered on this view, on the range on the view. Number one, as you can see on the screen, the range itself, the window is offset. So initially I was hitting everything to the right, and because I was hitting to the, I don't know if you can see me, but I was hitting to the center of what I thought was the screen of the window, but I should have been hitting center of the screen, and so that's something you got to watch out for. And then also pay attention. You'll notice that the you'll notice that the trajectory will seem a lot lower than it actually is, and that's just because they've compressed that range into this window. It's not a huge deal, but something you need to be aware of. All right, let's hit a few shots. See if I can't get 4 that we can use. Okay. I don't know about that one. A little thin. Oh, that was a terrible shot. Let's try to get one more in there that we can use. All right. Whoop, let me get one more. That one didn't. All right, so let's come back over. I'm not sure if my microphone is picking up really well, so I'm gonna try to. All right, so let's come back over to our so here are my side and top shots. And here's the grouping. So, a little wider group. I'm gonna, let's see, I can look at each shot. And I really think that this shot, I'm trying to remember now. I think it was this. Let's see how you can see each shot. I really think that was the shot, but 120. I'm gonna remove that, and then I'm gonna go with that as my bagging. Now I can go back to my sessions and unclick or show the other two. So here we go. So now I've got white as my pitch and wedge, the 9 here, then of course the green is my 8-iron, and my spread's getting a little wide. I'm a little tired, but so that's bag mapping. Now going to do that on out with all of my clubs. Now the other thing you can do is you can go down to this section here, session, and I have my averages. So if you, for example, if I go to back to, if I just looked at my shots of the pitching wedge, let me see, if I go and look at the shots, there we go. If I look at the shots of my pitching wedge, look at the carry, I'll see that my average was 110. So when you go to that session, that's where that 110 is coming from. So that's the average of all my shots with that wedge. So I think this is the main screen you're going to really want to look at. Here are my gaps. I go wedge, I go 110. The 9, I'm at 121. And then my 8 is up to 138. Now that's carry. Again, you get into total distances. You're going to have to consider your environmental factors. Which third-party software are you using? There's some debate, and I haven't gotten with Uneekor as far as on this particular range. Look at this range. I'm hitting into a downhill area, and then there's some hills. So, for example, on these shots, I'm getting 2 or 3 yards of roll. Now, is that legit? Is the software considering or taking into effect the rolling hill down there? I think that's a question for Uneekor. Also, could we have the ability to just have a flat range and then let the run out be what it is? But just so you know, that's, go back to this session screen. So I got my carry, total distance, ball speed, club head speed. So again, and I'm only using, look at my spin rates. The wedge 85, so 69, and then 58. I'm consistently hitting, my side spin. I hit a little draw. Here are my launch angles. So apex, how high, and flight time, all that. So great data. Again, I don't know, for an accurate bag mapping, do you need to hit 10 shots, 20 shots, 4 shots? That's up to you to decide. But again, let's talk about, before the other thing I wanted to make sure you understand is on these sessions. So again, these are this is data that I want to keep. So I want to make sure that I'm hiding this, and don't hit the delete button. But now that I've hidden it, if I plug in E6 or Creative 3D and I want to play around, I'm either going to add a session, and what I would suggest doing is always having a session called practice. Even if you're going to come in on the view software and just hit shots, you're going to want to have a place to capture that data. Now, the other thing that I confirmed is that all your shots, all your data stays on your C or D drive until you delete it. So theoretically, and I have no idea how long this would take, but theoretically, you could fill up your hard drive with shot data. So the next thing I'm going to try to do, and if I find this out, I'll attach it to the bottom of the video, but I'm going to try to find out what file exactly is this data being saved to, and how quickly will it fill up. It may not, it may last forever, but if you have all your data, whether you're playing E6 or if you're just hitting balls on the range, and you don't want to, you don't necessarily want to keep it or store it, you can all have it go to this thing called practice, and then just with one click, click delete, and all those shots will disappear and won't mess up your data. So guys, I think that's again. Now let's say I'm real quickly, let's say I want to look at my bag mapping. I would hide the practice session. I would unhide the bag mapping stuff, and then I can go to my grouping. There it is, or I can go to my sessions and see my data. So I'm gonna keep going forward, and I'm gonna go all the way from my wedge to driver, and take a look at it. But that's the bag mapping feature on the View software. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to answer them.